Drake has not, like, at all. And I don't mean tracks like No Face, which I actually enjoyed. I didn't think that was too bad of a song. It's an honest reflection on what it must have felt like to take such a big L publicly, and I thought it was really good. But we've also seen Drake pouting and whining on streams with the likes of XQC and Ada.
I don't really care for this. I don't usually follow the person. So when I say like I like Drake, it's usually I like Drake's music. I'm just liking the content that they put out in that area, and that's usually what I say.
And Ross, there was that incredibly bizarre moment on stage where he rambles about not having any real friends and then plays Beyonce's Me, Myself, and I.
Yeah, that's how life is. But look, sometimes it's you and you alone by yourself. Sometimes it's you alone with your thoughts. Sometimes, you know what?
I don't know anything about it. Even though this relates to the music, I have no clue what any of this is. I don't. I just don't follow Drake this hard.
Then there was that Fighting Irish song, which was clearly written and done during the beef because he still had his cornrows in. And that song, oddly, is just him throwing shade at LeBron James, which is incredibly petty. And then we have the weird crash out Academics had on LeBron James a couple of days ago. And of course...
So again, I talk about this all the time. I know I wear logos of teams that are not of Cleveland, but I am from Cleveland. So whenever there's a beef with LeBron, I'm probably going to side with LeBron in the beef just on GP. You feel me?
Most notably, it's the legal actions he's been taking against his own record label, UMG, as a means to in some way win a rap battle legally when he couldn't win it.
I don't even know what I've heard arguments for this. I've heard obviously arguments against this of how it was a weak move. I'm going to say this. I'm not looking into it. I'm gonna just call it a weak move. I don't know what the suing is about. I guess get your money, but it just don't look good.
Lyrically. A lot of folks will have already chimed in on this by the time you see it. So I want to shout out those folks, and I'll put some of their videos in the description, but I'm gonna try to offer some particular insight in why I think this is happening from where I stand. And it's gonna be a little bit, well, no, it's probably gonna be exactly what you expect. But I wanna be clear, this is all.
I originally clicked on this video because this is Drake your favorite rapper? Not is this move the softest move? But maybe he's not.
My personal analysis, steeped in my own biases, as everything is all the time when you're talking. For those head ass people that are going to be in my comment section who think that this is biased. Everything is biased, idiot. Like nothing that comes out of a person's mouth that is like normal is unbiased. So this is biased. This is my opinion. All right. Also, for those.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. I mean, you can say takes that you don't like or you don't agree with, and it's not biased. But let's not debate to that. Like I agree with what he's saying for the most part. When we talking like this and we speaking our opinion, we sound yeah, it could be biased. Yeah.
Those Drake apologists out there, this is
biases.
Not me supporting UMG or any corporate influence on hip hop. A lot of Drake fans tried to make the earlier legal action into some type of righteous crusade that Drake was on, fighting for the little guys in hip hop, even though he's fighting against the same tactics that he himself used to become the biggest rapper in the world and all that.
I don't remember that. I don't remember him fighting for the little guy. I remember Drake being at the top, getting luxuries of only the top. And people even complaining that, oh, he's at the top because he's of a fairer skin. He has Jewish connection ties and stuff like that. I didn't know they was talking about.
But yeah, that's all the caveats y'all get. I know hip hop conversations in general bring out some of the worst weirdos. Y'all come up with whatever narrative, bad faith interpretation you want in the comments. I really can't be bothered. Now, I do want to recount some of the important details specifically about this newest lawsuit because it really is beyond the pale of any level of dignity or ethics in the eyes of hip hop. And really, if he were to win this lawsuit, which he won't, but if he were to win, it'd be one of the most harmful things to ever happen to rap music and hip hop culture. Like never has the phrase "not like us" been so effectively demonstrated in seeing what Drake put in this lawsuit and how it shows a completely selfish disregard for the art form that he.
So yeah, maybe he's gonna go through the lawsuit because I'm not too familiar. I think he's suing like the record label, so I don't think that has anything to do with. I don't want to say it doesn't have anything to do with Kendrick, but because it.
Purports to love and want to be a part of. Firstly, again, Drake is not suing Kendrick Lamar. He is suing his and Kendrick's record distribution company, UMG. It's not odd that both of them would be under the same umbrella deal, by the way. There are only like 4 real record labels that control all of music throughout the world. So, you know, it's fucked up, but it is what it is. In the suit, Drake accuses UMG of artificially inflating the popularity of Kendrick's diss record, Not Like Us, and saying that.
Now, I feel like we've heard this narrative through all of hip hop music in general, like numbers being inflated, whether that's labels buying bot listeners to amplify certain songs, or even buying their way onto like certain ratings or stuff. Like, come on, man, we've been hearing about this. Even if you want to take it to the okay, is this artificially inflating numbers? Well, technically yes. Okay, so when you have like a fan base that's so big for an artist, and it's one thing just to be big and you have all your fans play your music, but when they play it on repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, and all of them agree together to play like one song in particular to raise the streaming numbers up so this person can win this. It's like, come on, that's artificially inflated numbers. Now, obviously, you're not about to go after other people for doing that because that's just like the everyday people, but this is nothing new. Everybody kind of plays this game.
They willfully spread the song knowing that it spread the falsehood that Drake is a PDF downloader. Mind you, one, there's no way they could know that this isn't true. Like, nobody knows what these dudes are doing behind closed doors. That's why I don't put anything past anybody. That's just an unfalsifiable statement that will never hold up in court. Two, there's reason to believe it is true. As I and others have talked about before, Drake has a long history of questionable behavior with underage girls. It's all out there for you to see with a quick Google. This is only smoke to the fire, but it kills any idea that this could be defamation. Maybe Drake is going to go with the move where he says he's an ephebophile, which would be hilarious, but there's no way that—
Wait, what is that? 15 or 19? What? I didn't even know this is a thing. What is going on? What? It don't matter if you this or that. They're both bad. What are you talking about?
That Drake will get any judge to rule.
Because like, what's the difference? Like, why did you separate this? Why is it like, oh no, 15 and what the fuck is going on?
In his favor, considering all the stuff that's out there about him and teenage girls over the course of the last decade plus. Also, and most frustratingly, it's ridiculous to think that UMG artificially inflated the popularity of this song. The song was an immediate smash hit in culture.
The song was a big hit. You wouldn't be able to tell if they, first of all, you probably wouldn't be able to tell anyway if they artificially inflated it. Definitely not with a record like this. It just got too big.
Cultural moment as soon as it arrived on airwaves. The very night Not Like Us came out, which was a Saturday night, it was being blasted in clubs everywhere. That was not artificial inflation. That was what the culture was feeling. In the aftermath, I can imagine that UMG did, as is their job, what they could to increase the song's popularity, which again is something they've done for Drake himself numerous times, but to call it artificial as if this wasn't a natural happenstance is nonsense. What's worse is that in this particular aspect of the accusation, he implicated multiple predominantly black content creators and React streamers on YouTube in the suit. He puts the thumbnails of these prominent black creators like Kai Cenat and RDC World in the actual lawsuit and says that
Did I get in there? Did he put me in there? We did a reaction video.
UMG whitelisted the song so that they didn't get copyright claims as a reaction.
It's a 15-minute video for recording its YouTube channel, which have subscribers as of date. What does this mean?
Acted as if this isn't something that Drake also did for his songs. Thankfully, the suit isn't naming them as explicit targets for legal action, but make no mistake, naming them and putting them in the suit is an attack on hip-hop media as a whole. The idea that a record label could get sued for publishing and promoting a song that says something negative about another rapper is an attack on hip-hop at its very core. And the idea that you would name journalists in your lawsuit for just doing their job is low-key.
What was the case though? Why did he name them? I feel like that's important. Like, why was the? I mean, on his face, this does look wrong, and it might turn out that this is crazy and wrong. Like, he shouldn't be doing shit like this. But what did he name? I have no context of like why he named these people. Did he name them to like say these people are bad, or they did something wrong, or to prove something was boosted? Like, what did he name these people for?
Worse, at least from our perspective, hip hop was built out of genuine African traditions of boasting, rhyming, and cracking on others that have been
What does this have to? Okay.
Around 4 centuries in African art and literature. Rappers have always joked and dissed each other. It's always been competitive. You can rightfully argue that the ways in which that competitive tradition has changed in the last 20 years maybe haven't always been that good. I would agree with that. And there is definitely a modern problem with dissing your ops and how that spills out into real life street violence in some cases. But
yeah, I talked about this before. Definitely, there's always been this battle in rap. We even have a multiple battle leagues, which, oh my God, some of the best wordplay you'll ever hear. But we have a hard time trying to keep that balance between it not spilling into like real beef in the streets, bloodshed, people getting killed. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not something that I particularly like, honestly, because it's not able to be kept just creative and respectful and in the art. But Twitch streamer No Life Shaq, that's me.
But this is not one of those cases, and those cases are historically incredibly rare. Drake then goes on to say the song made him feel like a target for harassment and states that on
Standing relationships spanning more than a decade, UMG intentionally sought to turn Drake into a pariah, a target for harassment, or worse. UMG did. I heard they also said because they're both the artists, they were doing that to both of their songs. UNG did so not because it believes any of these false claims to be true, but instead because it would profit from damaging Drake's reputation. Drake thus brings this action to hold UMG responsible for the actual and foreseeable harm he has suffered. and will continue to suffer because of UMG's choice to elevate profits over well-being of its artists and music. And what if it comes out that like this is Drake's plan all along? He was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna lose this, I'm gonna show how it made a mistake, I'm gonna get out of my label this way or out of whatever deal I got, and I'm gonna pocket all this money. How about that? How would y'all feel about that?
On multiple occasions, he's been targeted with violence as a result of this song. One situation we do know publicly, which was the shooting that took place at his mansion, if not the night the song came out, then the night following. But he also
attempted break-in takes place at Drake's Toronto mansion day after shooting a security guard. See what I'm saying? This is where it gets out of hand. This is the cons of competitive rap battles and beef and stuff like that. And this is the conclusion. I know people have been wanting this rap battle for 10 years, 10 plus years probably.
Mentioned multiple events since then. We don't know much about these events, and I don't want to wish violence upon anyone.
And then all the fans that love the music and do all that, they just go back to their lives, and y'all got to deal with the real shit that happens on the streets that some of these common people don't even hear about happen. They don't even know a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. Who got stabbed, who got beat up, who got their chain snatched, who this, who got shot, who got killed. Like, you don't hear a lot about that stuff behind the scenes. So
want to be clear, but we also just have to take Drake's word that these acts of violence toward him are the result of this song, as opposed to the years of grimy, low-key criminal activity that Drake has been connected to in Toronto. These are things that I won't get into, but again, feel free to do a few Googles. Drake has not been a clean guy for a while. I could go on, but I will leave the real analysis of the legal aspects of this to the experts on the topic. What I want to do instead is ask the question, why is Drake like this? Why is Drake the type of nigga to lose a rap battle and then file a lawsuit? Why has he struggled so mightily to get over this and not just drop some new music? Understand, hip hop and black culture is like most westernized cultures in that we are very forgiving to popular and talented men who take L's and or get caught doing harmful things to women and girls. R. Kelly, who is now a convicted predator, was known to be a predator for a decade before he went to jail and barely suffered at all from it. I just did a whole video on Diddy, and you already know that story. There are people still caping for Bill Cosby, Trey Songz, Chris Brown. I can probably name a ton of other black entertainers who have been confirmed predators or abusers, and while many did suffer somewhat due to their crimes, very few fully lost their careers, especially the talented ones who were able to make good new things after their incidents. So if Drake would just come out with good music in these last 10 months, we'd have mostly been over it by now. He could have been doing TikTok dances again. Instead, Drake has made almost no music and has mostly made being angry and bitter about this.
I've heard talks about this too, that he wanted to make it like it's hard for him to make music, it's hard for him to do X, Y, and Z. And when he does put out a song, people was even saying, like I was hearing, like he was hoping it flopped, because in court you have to show that you actually took a loss. You act like this that I'm alleging actually damaged me to the point where I'm losing so much. Because if you still do the same thing and you become the same Drake, you have no case. Like there's what are you talking about? You didn't lose anything. There was no damages. So you have to prove that. This is what I heard between other people talking about this. Just something to think about.
Battle the whole of his public persona. And even if that was just the extent of it, I probably wouldn't be making this video. But the legal actions and ramifications of them are so beyond, so awful in their implications, that it's genuinely a huge threat to the culture and art form of hip hop. And I need to understand why. Why is this crash out happening?
I wonder, did he address any of the issues that Drake stated or accused Kendrick of? Because don't play the double standard just because you don't like Drake. Don't do that. Don't do that. We can hold Drake accountable. We can hold, if Kendrick did these things too. If any of these people do it. Listen, this is what I'm going to say. As far as music go, all of these artists, put them all in the basket. I don't give a fuck who you caping for. Put them all in there. If they're doing some crazy shit, hey, take care of them. You know what I mean? Like, do away with them. But if, as far as that, look, the music is good music, man. I don't know what y'all talking about, bro. Y'all and a lot of y'all could say y'all don't be listening to him. Y'all can say ain't this and that. But when them numbers come out and at the end of the year and it still be Drake at the top, come on. And it still be you know who at the top. And y'all still be listening to Kanye West at the top. Like, y'all can say all this shit. Look, some of these people do some crazy stuff. Some of them is confirmed. Some of these people wild. I'd never stand next to them. Let me tell you that. You know? But I can reminisce about the days where they used to make great music. And I always say that about these artists. I feel like all these artists that I actually say I like, a lot of the times I'm listening to their shit that's way old. My favorite Drake music is from early 2012, 2013, you know what I mean? Like, hey man, sorry. Like, you know, those years. My My favorite Kanye, same thing. Those 808 heartbreak, shit like that, graduation, late registration, like those. Like, I'm not saying, like, yeah, man. Same thing with all these people, man. A lot of these people, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's how music works, and you just resonate with something of like a certain time period, or when you really heard it, when you liked it, and you fell in love with it, something like that. But
how can we make sense of it? The best I've come up with comes from a conversation I had with a family member. Shout out to you. You know who you are. That, while not perfect in its application of sociological theories, you'll see why in a second, makes too much sense not to share. Drake is a beta.
Everyone, boo this nigga.
I know. Stop. I know. I'm sorry. Yes, the concepts of alpha males and beta males and all that stuff with wolves is very much pseudoscience. This analysis is not to be taken as law or credence to those ideologies, but they are useful for making sense of this particular frame of behavior and labeling real things using understandable terminology.
I respect that.
Even if the terminology itself is not based on reality. All right. So there's your disclaimer. Drake is a beta. Drake has always been a beta and always will be a beta. But like many beta males, Drake aspires to be seen and exist as an alpha. He wants the esteem and respect and power that he perceives alpha males to have. Alpha males like a LeBron James, a man that he got tattooed on his body.
Wait, this is crazy because a lot of people think LeBron is a beta male. I've heard that. I've heard a lot of people feel like, oh no, he beta.
If you analyze,
he cry, he whine, he do this, he do that. He got to play with other people. He do this. So it's just, again, I'm always right with LeBron fan. You feel me?
Drake's career through the lens of him being a beta male, it actually makes so much sense of his behavior. Drake's always been a tryhard, always been deeply insecure, always been a suck up to whoever he thinks has.
Hold on. It depends on how we using beta male. Well, I guess what do we think? Because you're saying being insecure. Like, though, this beta male, I feel like everybody has their insecurities. Everybody can be insecure. That don't make you less than. In the way he's using beta male, like, that doesn't make you less than because you have insecurities. That don't make you less than because you sing your rap's lyrics instead of rapping them. It doesn't make you beta male because you had all of the hits that everybody was falling in love to or wanting to get back with their ex with or hooking back up with their ex with or doing all this. Because you got to remember, Drake didn't just become popular. Like, people was rocking with those songs. People resonate with those songs. Those were anthems to people's lives, and people loved Drake. Like, he didn't just get there on that. So a lot of people must have been feeling that same way in those same moods and singing those songs. Like, come on, we're not about to do this, bro. We're not gonna rewrite history. We're not gonna rewrite history. You don't have to like Drake as of now. You don't have to like his personal life. You don't gotta like that he wear beads in his hair and wear braids or grow a beard. Whatever you ain't gotta like him because he was corny undergrad. Whatever your reason is, like, but we can't just start making up shit. Like, people was fucking with Drake. You might have never fucked with Drake, person out there, but people were. Like, he didn't just get big out of nowhere.
More power and status in him, and significantly, he's always been either incredibly jealous, incredibly dismissive, or incredibly petty to other men who he feels he is or should.
And a lot of people are. And you could say, well, a lot of people are beta males. Okay.
Be above. This is why he is so comfortable stealing from other smaller artists, either in the form of taking their styles or aesthetics or literally stealing their music. This is why up until he was above guys like Kanye and Joe Budden, etc., he would always say he was their biggest fans and he loved them so much and he wanted to be like them. And ooh, Lil Wayne, ooh. Find that clip.
Oh, Lil Wayne's just too good.
You gotta give Wayne the love.
Just too good.
It's why he went through that weird period in the 2010s where he would be at
So what are we saying? Like, I don't know. What we saying is gay? So now gay is beta? Like, what? I don't know.
Every sports game, sports arena, wearing a different jersey of whoever the most popular team was at the time. Is why when he was with LeBron on LeBron's barbershop show on HBO, it felt like LeBron was talking to his son. It was weird. It's also why his whole posture and behavior as he's been legitimately on top of the rap game just felt weird and forced and instant.
I mean, why can't he just, again, I'm not trying to coat or Kate, whatever, for this guy. Why can't it just be like he really did look up to these people? He looked up to these artists. If you were really in a rap game around this time, like, you would look up to people probably like Kanye West, probably like I don't know about Joe Budden, but I don't know. Maybe I'm too young for that one. But definitely LeBron James. Like, what do you mean?
Sincere. Drake is an insecure beta man-child, but he isn't untalented and definitely isn't hardworking because he is so driven by the insecurity that it drove him literally to the top of the music industry.
That's also true. That's a true statement.
But even when at the top, when you're listening to Drake's music the last decade or so, it's mostly about him being beta. It's about him not feeling comfortable, not having real friends, and feeling like people don't respect his position. And to be,
But people resonated with that. People loved that. People liked that fucking vibe, bro. Like he was not the top of the rap game up until 2 years ago or 1 year ago because he wasn't doing that stuff. Like people was still fucking with him. Like,
be honest, he's right. A lot of people don't will never.
If you would have looked at people's Spotify's, their Apple, their end of year wrap ups, bro, he's in all of their like top fives, most of their top threes. Like most people, again, it may not be in yours, may not be in your group, but I'm telling you, like this was in with people who listen to rap music. I saw y'all because I was taking note. I was taking note of y'all, and a lot of y'all was like, "Well, Kendrick not in my top 5 because he didn't put out any music recently." Well, that's crazy because I still listen to Kendrick. And I listen to other artists too. So I'm just saying, like, and that didn't excuse why Drake is in your top 5. You said you don't like Drake. You don't like all of the you ain't like all that crying and all that singing passionately. Come on, man.
Never respect him because we smell the beta on him. The vibes have always been off.
And y'all
it's
like
because
it.
Drake has always been imitating what being a top guy is actually supposed to look like and feel like, that people never respected him at the level he probably earned. It's why he acts like a groupie when he's around real top guys, real alpha males like LeBron or Jay-Z or multiple other figures. You can see the difference. And you see it reflected in the type of people, especially men, who love and follow Drake to the death. Drake surrounds himself with fellow betas that are just under him. People like academics and Aiden Ross, who are willing to debase themselves in order to court favor with men they see as powerful and dominant. Drake's hardcore fan base of stans are the most beta men in all of existence. Whether they realize it or not, they identify with Drake because they love him as their beta messiah. Lizan Al got, what the fuck's that guy's name? Damn it, you're gonna use the meme on me again, aren't you? Lizan, I've been saying this about Caleb Williams the whole time, but I actually don't know the real, fuck. Who? They are attracted to that energy, and in their view, Drake did exactly what they wished they could do. Work hard enough to be.
Okay, stop. Drake, despite what you may think, despite what he's saying, Drake is in a position that a lot of people wish they could be in. Just for the fame and the money. You could stop there, right? It's the access to certain things, the level that they've reached in their craft, in their sport. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, stop. Like LeBron James, as much as people hate LeBron, he's on the level that a lot of people would love. People would love to play basketball for a living. People would love if they were that tall. People would love if they had that money. People would like, stop, bro. If they had his endorsement deals. And again, it's just, people would prefer that because it seems easier, it seems nicer, it seems more luxurious. Like, so stop saying, oh, only betas want to be here. Like, a lot of people want to be in a rich and powerful position. A lot of people.
Be on top, just like the alphas, even if you know deep down inside, you're really not like that. This is also why Drake grievously underestimated Kendrick and why he cannot accept or recover from how badly Kendrick whipped his ass in this battle. Kendrick is he's basically a Sigma male. I'm ruining my career. Drake is ruining my career on accident. Kendrick is really a non-participant in the alpha beta paradigm that Drake operates in. He has his own standards and needs. He's not a dick writer. He's not super interested in fame. He's art focused, community focused, legacy focused. And Kendrick didn't run around chasing every trend and kissing everybody's ass to stay popular. And he still got to the top of the music industry the same way Drake was. But to Drake's beta mind,
I agree that I feel like Kendrick is in a league of his own. Kendrick is like Cole. I would say the same thing about Cole. They just focus on the craft. They just care about their mental health. They care about their music. They care about their communities. They care about the actual what hip hop is at its core. And for that, I respect both of them so much. Kendrick has also spoken on a lot of race issues, but more than that, just like, you know what I mean? Like social injustices. I respect him for that because a lot of people in that position, they just don't do that. So that's respect for that. This man did the whole like Black Panther soundtrack, man. Like, what's going on here? Like, that's dope. But I don't know. I don't see him as a person that kissed ass to get to the top. I don't think he kissed ass, but I also don't know if Drake kissed ass. Like, Drake started off on a TV show. How much ass did he really have to kiss to get to the next step? I think they're extremely talented, whether that's, borrowing bars or stealing bars. I don't think that's cool, but however they do, the delivery of the music is A1, so they definitely deserve to be there. I don't think that their music is just so trash that I don't know how they got there. They had to get paid off or pay somebody off. I don't agree with that. That's not what he's saying, but I don't think that happened. And but I just don't know.
Kendrick can't ever really be on his level and can't ever really possibly affect him, or at least that's what he had to have thought when this battle started. And you can really tell that he thought that he had Kendrick automatically because he kept.
It's not true. I doubt that highly. I think as an artist, you recognize other great artists, and you recognize that quick. You recognize how much movement somebody has, and maybe because it's been so long, if you want to say anything, maybe he underestimated how many ears that Kendrick might have. But he should have known that just off of him beefing with him, like he should have known. He should have known this was gonna spread. So I'm sorry, I just don't see that as like being a bad calculation. I think that's why it took so long for Drake to even say something, because he didn't say anything until Kendrick really threw the first shot. He threw the first shot with responding to the like that. Is that the name of it? Yeah, like that or whatever. Funny, he would end it with like but or something like that. He that was his first track, and then it kind of forced, like everybody forced the hand to respond. That's why even J. Cole responded preemptively, well, not preemptively, but like immediately, and even withdrew it because he was like, well, I'm tripping, I don't do this. But yeah, I think Drake knew he had to, like he had to go, because people already call him soft. People already think he is at the top. People were putting him at number one. That's why I feel like he had to do that. And if anybody says that Drake objectively, like the culture was putting him number one at that time in that tough spot, you're absolutely delusional. I'm sorry, you're not qualified to even have this conversation if that's the case. Yeah, but no, I just don't agree with that. I think I think in any sport, especially when you do it at a level like that, you know who the killers are. There's no way you don't.
Egging him on. He kept on saying drop, and nah, you ain't gonna back down. And he really thought after he'd released Family Matters that he was about to go on vacation. He ends that song with "You're Dead" on repeat. He thought it was over based solely on status and whatever beta mindfuck he had did to himself to not realize who he was dealing with. And there's a part of me that's so confused with how dumb that strategy is that every once in a while I stop myself and wonder, is this some type of ridiculous 4D chess move that nobody is seeing, that somehow after damn near a year the outcome might change? But then I look at what's actually in front of me, and I look at all the evidence I see and don't see, and I see a dumb jock that can't believe some nerd got voted homecoming king or some shit. Like that's literally the mentality.
How do you get to that mentality? Who thought Kendrick was a nerd? I don't even know how you can. Again, you have to. I mean, unless maybe you weren't giving Kendrick his just due. Maybe it was you. Maybe you weren't giving him his props, because nobody I know would ever think Kendrick was just some nerd that couldn't beat the jock. I was asking people when his beef first started. Hey, who you think taking it? I will say in my group message and amongst other people that I asked, everybody was like, look, I mean, you can't bet against Drake because he's proven, but Kendrick, oh no, bro, I'd rather, like everybody that was like, hey, place your bets. Everybody held their money. Let's just say that. Everybody was like, nah, I'm gonna just go ahead and enjoy this as an entertainer. I'm gonna tuck my money in my pocket. I'm gonna tuck my money in my pocket. Like that's what I heard a lot of people talking about. So
that's Drake's mentality, his fans' mentality, whatever. This is why Drake's been whiny and pathetic the last 6 months, why he's acting like a victim when he's very much responsible for everything he's been going through, from the bad behavior to the bad strategy to underestimating his opponent and getting embarrassed. So now, with all of the alpha male imitation elements gone, stripped away from him, Drake goes into his white, not very hip-hop roots and starts suing people to regain some semblance of status and power. My theory is his ultimate goal is to make sure Not Like Us is not performed at the Super Bowl, which would be the most amazing thing ever to happen in the history of rap beef, but would be an incredible L, like bigger than all the ones he's taken thus far possibly. But instead of just taking that L, which so many rappers before him have done, including Drake himself, he's now made his L everyone's problem. He's threatening to make it so record labels are responsible for the content of the music they just published, which means they'd be far less likely to support all but the most bland of rap music for fear of getting sued. He's making it so content creators like myself will be muzzled and scared of legal action just for voicing opinions. I'm not.
Yeah, I already said this is corny. He shouldn't be doing this. I don't think he should be doing this for whatever reason or position or anything like that, bro. Just let it roll out. I mean, Meek Mill took the L when you did it to him. Go ahead, take the L from Kendrick, bro. You good? Just keep putting out good music, and you'll be fine. And despite what everybody else is saying, like, oh yeah, I never liked Drake. Oh, Drake was always a pussy. Yeah, well, fuck Drake. Good. Just keep putting out music, and you'll see the numbers go up, and you'll make the money, and let everybody wonder how it's happening.
A lawyer. But if I know anything about defamation from my minimal experiences in media over the last couple of years, I know that it's incredibly hard to win a defamation case as a public figure, especially against a giant corporation like UMG. So I don't expect any of this to ever legitimately be a problem for anyone long term, but it's the principle. It's the idea that this was the move he decided to take. It's the most un-hip hop thing to ever happen in the history of the culture, done by the man that many of y'all called the GOAT, that one artist of the decade, and some of y'all called.
He definitely was artist of the decade. As far as rap go, I don't listen to all the artists in the world, obviously, in all the genres, but he definitely was. As far as the GOAT, greatest of all time, I don't know if I ever called him the GOAT. I always said Wayne was my GOAT. I know a lot of people had me put Jay-Z as the GOAT. I'm not sure. Maybe the younger generation called him the GOAT. I don't know, but he definitely was on top. So what I mean by like number one, just so people are like, well, you just said he was number one. I'm saying currently, like number one in the game is this person, right? For example, NBA, if anybody knows basketball out there, LeBron retires. You could say at number one in the league, right? Or right here. Some people might be Jordan number one people. You can say Jordan is the greatest of all time, but this person is number one in the league. You see what I'm saying? 1, 2, and 3, or whoever the MVP is, you can say that person is number one. That's what I'm saying about Drake. Right now, he's number one in the rap game, active, and then a GOAT would be greatest of all time. So you have to look further than just who's active right now.
Or your favorite rapper. It's really, really sad. I'll end by repeating what seems to be.
It's not sad. At the end of the day, Drake does make good music. Stop letting people bully y'all. That's the true beta. Don't let people bully y'all. If y'all like Drake, if y'all fuck with his music, you don't have to stop listening to him. You don't got to turn your volume up because these people look at you crazy. What they listen to? Come on, stop. Just who cares? And if they are listening to something, who cares? They could listen to some great music. I don't care. Like, y'all got to stop giving a fuck about what other people like doing. That's the most beta shit ever.
My claim to fame now, my most viral statement in the history of Twitter. If Drake is your favorite rapper, you're probably a loser. But I want to add now.
Okay, this is definitely shock value or clippable or something like that. If Drake is your favorite rapper, you're probably a loser. People so goofy, man. That's the goofy behavior. If he your favorite rapper, you're probably a loser. Okay.
With hindsight, that I realize if you're the type of loser to look at Drake's behavior and not see any problem with it, you're probably so much of a loser that you have no clue how bad you look to anyone.
Maybe that part is a better claim, but if you like his music, he did say if you like his music, you're a loser, right? I'm not.
If Drake is your favorite rapper, you're probably a loser.
If Drake is your favorite, no, I still don't agree. Drake is not my favorite rapper. Let's just clear it up. But I don't think if you like Drake as your favorite rapper, you're a loser. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think any of those top artists can listen, man. I like some rappers that are not even close to the top. People that play on my playlist are not even close to the top 5, not even top 10. But I like them. Listen to who you want to listen to, man. Like, you're not a loser for that. But I get it. It's the video. He has to make it. He has to say it. But whatever. I wouldn't have done it. But I appreciate you checking out the channel. Once again, if you like the video, hit that like button. It helps out the channel. Hit the subscribe button so we can grow and get on a level with some of these other content creators. So when I speak, they can hear and we can actually have the discourse we need to have. You know, we got to fight for what's right. You feel me? But hey, I appreciate it. Comment, hit those comments. Let me know whatever y'all thinking. What was I wrong about? What was I right about? This and this and that. I'll be in the comments. So I will see you there. I appreciate you. Peace.